You were interviewing the president yesterday, but that's not all.
Right. We spent a little time on the basketball court as well. Clark Kellogg from CBS Sports was there.
The White House basketball court?
This is the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh,
this
my
is,
goodness.
I'm not sure anybody has ever really been down there with cameras before. Take a look. Right?
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You have this conversation with
Right.
him. You ask him all the tough questions.
Oh, yeah.
Does he then proceed to take it out on you on the basketball court?
Well, no, basically, I'd come with an excuse. My senior year in high school, I did make the varsity basketball team, but I quit to join the speech team.
Oh. So that prepares us for how that's going to go on the court.
Not pretty. Listen, we begin, though, with that very interview with President Obama. A CBS News poll out this morning shows the president's approval rating at an all-time low, 44%. That is down 5 points from just last month. His approval rating for handling health care is also at an all-time low. 55% of the people we asked disapprove. So with the NCAA Final Four coming up this weekend, the president invited me to the White House yesterday to shoot some hoops. But before we got to the court, I asked him about a very few serious domestic and international issues, including his renewed call for sanctions on Iran. Do you believe the Iranians are trying to develop nuclear weapons?
All the evidence indicates that the Iranians are trying to develop the capacity to develop nuclear weapons. They might decide once they had that capacity that they'd hold off right at the edge in order not to incur more sanctions. But if they've got nuclear weapons building capacity and they are flouting international resolutions, that creates huge destabilizing effects in the region and will trigger an arms race in the Middle East that is bad for U.S. national security, but is also bad for the entire world.
Sanctions have been tried before. It only seems to bolster the Iranian regime. What makes you think they'll work this time? And if they don't work this time, what's the alternative?
Well, I think the idea here is to keep on turning up the pressure. The regime has become more isolated since I came into office. Part of the reason that we reached out to them was to say, you've got a path. You can take a path that allows you to rejoin the international community, or you can take a path of developing nuclear weapons capacity that further isolates you. And now we're seeing them further isolated. Over time, that is going to have an effect on their economy. Now, I have said before that we don't take any options off the table, and we're going to continue to ratchet up the pressure and examine how they respond, but we're going to do so with a unified international community that puts us in a much stronger position.
I want to talk about health care. Polls still coming out saying American people are not on board in
a whole week after it passed.
In significant numbers.
Yeah.
Healthcare was declared dead a bunch of different times over the last 14 months or so. Besides the efficacy of why you thought it was important to pass it, what made you think you could get it done?
Well, because it's the right thing to do. Look, when I am saying...
But there were plenty around you, even people within that building who said, let's do it piecemeal, let's do it one piece at a time.
The one thing I don't do, Harry, is to think short-term based on day-to-day polls. I look at what does the country need long-term. And what we know is that insurance rates in the individual market are going up 30–40% for people if they don't work for big companies. Small businesses are getting killed. We know that Medicare and Medicaid costs are unsustainable. And so my attitude was that if I didn't make an effort now to change how we deliver health care, this country was going to go bankrupt.
I'll ask you that question, why you thought you could do it.
Why I thought I could do it?
Yeah.
Because I have confidence that if you have good policy and you're trying to do the right thing, that over time the politics works its way out. Much more in our next half hour. More of my interview with the president, where I ask him about the tough talk from some of his political opponents.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.